Thank you for coming in and celebrating the Asian American Pacific Islanders Heritage Month with us today. I am Loanne Vu, the Chief of Pharmacy. I am your mistress of the ceremonies for today. To start the program from Logistics Services, Ms. Katrina Tavares, who will lead us in singing our national anthem. Everyone is invited to join us.
Say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
With great pleasure, I would like to introduce with us today is the First State Chinese Dance Troupe. The First State Chinese Dance Troupe was founded in 2005 by Dr. Jane Hu. She is actually with us today. With the support of the Delaware Chinese American Association and the Chinese American Community Center of Delaware, this dance troupe has actively engaged in many cultural events in Delaware, including the first night of Wilmington, the annual Chinese New Year celebration in Delaware, the annual Delaware Chinese Festival, local corporate culture diversity events, local community centers, and seniors center cultural events. This dance troupe has been actively involved in the community at large, Delaware and its neighboring states, to promote the rich cultural diversity by presenting the beauty of traditional and ethnic Chinese performing arts, which are rooted in the rich Chinese history and colorful cultures of China's 56 ethnic groups. Today, the First State Chinese Dance Troupe will perform two dances. The first one, to welcome everyone, is the Chinese opera, which is a popular form of drama and musical theater in China with roots going back to as early as the 13th century during the Song Dynasty. This dance is based on Chinese opera. The music, the dance costumes, the dance makeup are all the Chinese opera style. The name of this dance is Splendid Blossom in the Spring. So let's give it up to the First State Chinese Dance Troupe. please join me and welcome Mr. Vince Kane, our facility director, who will offer some opening remarks. Mr. Kane.
Everybody hear me okay? I'm not a big fan of podiums. Boy, it's hard to top that welcome though, right? I mean, let's give them another round of applause. That was really awesome, you know, today, looking at the theme for today's presentation, and it's really great to see our audience growing, you know, sort of uniting together on behalf of our veterans. I can't think of a better time for that message to be received by all of us as we look at Memorial Day. You know, an opportunity to remember those men and women who sacrificed their lives so that we can have the privileges and the freedoms that we have today. And I can hear their voices now challenging us to unite together as providers to take the best care that we possibly can, not only of our veterans, but of each other. And one of the ways that we have to be able to do that is understanding what each of us bring to the table and celebrate that uniqueness, but somehow take that uniqueness and bring it together in a team so that we can focus on the veterans and provide the best possible care that we can. I think today's presentation will really underscore that theme of how do we unite as one while still able to celebrate the uniqueness and the diversity of each one of us that allow us to be better together. So with that, I hope everyone has a great opportunity to stay, to enjoy the presentation, and more importantly, as we embark on Memorial Day weekend, to keep the focus on the veterans and to remember and honor those that are no longer with us, but to equally remember those that are in front of us every day and to do the best we can together to give them the best care possible. So I'd like to welcome Grace, and I know there'll be more of a formal introduction, but it's really nice to have you here. I appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to join our team to help us celebrate this great week and the uniqueness and the diversity that each of us bring to the way that we care for our veterans. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. King. Next, from the Chaplain Services, Chaplain Paul Buck, who will provide us with special reading.
Very much. You all have the bulletin. You see that cover. I tell you, as I was trying to figure out what kind of poem or reading I should read, as I was looking at the picture, this thing came into my mind. This mosaic picture, how does it represent unity? One but many, many but one. And so I have two poems for you here. The first one is by Joy Bell C, and the second one is by Susie Carson. So the first, here goes the first one. We are all equal in the fact that we are all different. We are all the same in the fact that we will never be the same. We are united by the reality that all colors and all cultures are distinct and individual. We are harmonious in the reality that we are all held to this earth by the same gravity. We don't share blood, but we share the air that keeps us alive. I will not blind myself and say that my black brother is not different from me. I will not blind myself and say that my brown sister is not different from me. But my black brother is he as much as I am me. But my brown sister is she as much as I am me. The second one, but many, one but many. One God, many faces. One family, many races. One truth, many paths. One heart, many complexions. One light, many reflections. One world, many imperfections. One. We are all one, but many. Thank you. God bless.
agenda from the Peer Support Services, Ms. Stacy Turner, who will read the proclamation for us.
A proclamation by the President of the United States of America. This month, we celebrate Asian, American, and Pacific Islander Heritage Month and recognize the achievements and contributions of Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders that enrich our nation. Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders have distinguished themselves in the arts, literature, and sports. They are leading researchers in science, medicine, and technology, dedicated teachers to our nation's children, innovative farmers and ranchers, and distinguished lawyers and government leaders. Dr. Sammy Lee Kane, a Korean American who passed away last December, exemplified the spirit of this month. Dr. Lee was the first Asian American man to win an Olympic gold medal, becoming a platform diving champion at the 1948 London Olympics, only 1 year after graduating from med school. To fulfill his dreams, Dr. Lee overcame several obstacles, including his local childhood school policy of opening to minorities only once per week. Later in life, he was subject to housing discrimination, even after 8 years in the military. Dr. Lee, nevertheless, tirelessly served his country and community, including by representing the United States at the Olympic Games on behalf of several presidents. Catherine Su Fun Cheng also embodied the spirit of this month. In 1932, she became the first Chinese American woman to earn a pilot's license. At the time, only about 1% of pilots in the United States were women. As a member of the 99s, an organization of women pilots, she paved the way for thousands of women to take to the skies. There are more than 20 million Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders in the United States. Each day, through their actions, they make America more vibrant, more prosperous, and more secure. Our nation is particularly grateful to the many Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders who have served and are currently serving in our armed forces, protecting the nation and promoting freedom and peace around the world. Now, therefore, by the President of the United States of America, by virtue of the authority vested in him, by the Constitution and the laws of the United States, do hereby proclaim May 2017 as Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. The Congress, by Public Law 102-450, as amended, has also designated the month of May each year as Asian Pacific American Heritage Month. He encourages all Americans to learn more about our Asian American, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islander heritage, and to observe this month with appropriate programs and activities. In witness thereof, he is hereunto set his hands this 28th day of April, in the year of our Lord 2017, and of the independence of the United States of America, the 241st. I thank you.
Agenda with honor, I would like to introduce our speaker, Ms. Grace Spence. Ms. Spence currently is an information technology specialist at the Department of Veteran Affairs, Office of Information Technology, where she is managing IT projects and contracts. She began her federal career in 2004 with the Department of Justice, Bureau of Prisons, and later moved to the Drug Enforcement Administration, where she is responsible for IT projects and contract management. She is a certified project management professional. Ms. Spence was born in China, where she attended the Bao Chao Teachers University and obtained a BA in history. Upon graduation, Ms. Spence was an educator and later became a business executive for a Hong Kong investment firm where she was a chief executive officer responsible for the firm's investment portfolio and operation in mainland China. Ms. Spence came to the U.S. in 1991 for her master's degree in international affairs at Ohio University. After graduation, Ms. Spence was employed in the private sector, first as a supervisor of operation for TransLink Shipping in New York City, and then worked at the Wall Street as a project leader for Prudential Securities. In her spare time, Ms. Spence served 2 terms as a member of Maryland Montgomery County Ethics Advisory Committee. Ms. Spence joined Federal Asian Pacific American Council, known as FAPAC, in 2008 and was elected president of FAPAC from 2014 to 2016. She currently is the member of FAPAC National Board of Directors as immediate past president. Please help me to welcome Ms. Spence.
Dr. Wu for the introduction. And I just wanted to say I'm so honored to come over here to celebrate the AAPI Heritage Month with you all together. And I wanted to thank Director Kang for your support to the program and for your invitation. And Claudine, thank you so much. I just found out she's my half-sister. I didn't know she has a Chinese heritage, and which is true though. In Jamaica Island, there are many of Chinese immigrants and other races as well. So it's a very interracial. And next time I introduce, this is my half sister. I'm sure somebody gonna shock. And I want to thank the committee for your hard work and all together put up this program. This is the first time, I've been working for VA for 5 years, but this is the first time I ever visit a facility. So I'm very excited to have a tour later. I really shouldn't be here, it's not. And Director Kang are in 2 minutes and said everything I want to say in 20 minutes. They gave me 25 minutes. And Kaplan read the poem. It's so, on the spot. It just made all the points I needed to make. So I think I'm done. I'm just happy to be here. Anyway, so I guess I still have that 20 minutes. So I'm going to make a quick presentation instead of saying a lot of big things. For those of you who do not know FAPAC, I wanted to show you who we are. Just quick brief. FAPAC is a largest Asian American affinity groups representing the federal government. It's been 32 years now, and it's representing 160,000 federal employees, including military, and also representing the federal, the DC District Columbia government. So it has been there for a long time, and their prime mission is to do education, which is a culture, diversity, kind of education, and mainly leadership training. What we found out is that although that everywhere we're talking about the leadership, everything else, but the Asian community, the representation is still very low, and especially to the employees in the federal government. We are a group that's been, long time. I think in the 70s being called. There's a book that written by William Peterson called us a model minority. The reason being is that we are prone and based on the background, the culture background, the family tradition, the culture tradition, we tend to go with the technical fields more. So, but the leadership training is not available to them. So for that reason, FAPAC was established to provide that opportunity, to provide the platform for the people that, the Asian American employees in the federal government, in the military and in the DC government, one who wants to excel, who wants to advance, give them opportunity to train, for leadership training, which they usually don't get from their job. That's what FAPAC is. It's a 100% volunteer organization, and it's member-based. That's about FAPAC. We do training, and I forgot to mention, we have a FAPAC chapter in VA. And this is a bunch of handsome members in the vehicle. And the middle one next to me is our president. I encourage you to go check us out, and if you are interested and the FAPAC want to be, and you can join us. So I don't even, we're talking about the theme. I don't know if you know, FAPAC is the organization provide the theme to the federal government. We do this for over 10 some years. And every year we have a team that brainstorm and talk, consider what is the current atmosphere, what's going on, and what message we want to cross. So it's been 10 years over that we select, every year we select a theme and we'll provide the OPM, and mostly widely accepted by most agencies and also the private firms. Corporates and celebrate the Asian American Heritage Month. They use the theme. Why this year? We talk about the one voice. I think it's important because I'm going to share some data. All the good words have been already spoken by a director and by a Kaplan. I just have no more words to say, so I'm going to just share data. This is the 2010 census data. And you can see that AAPI, what we call Asian American Pacific Islander, it's actually more than, it's a large group. There are 28 groups that comprise this whole AAPI term. So currently about, as of 2013, it's 19 million. Now it's 20 million. And by census projection, by 2050, it will be 45 million. So we're going to be even more than double. So this group is the fastest growing group in the United States. It's surpassing the growth rate, not the population, but the growth rate is surpassing the Hispanics. And there's some data that where we are in terms of socio-economics. The Asian group has always been considered highest education, which is true. 46% of the Asian Americans over 20 years old has bachelor above in education, and most of them actually masters, and 20% of them are masters and PhDs. So it's the highest education group in the United States based on the race, by the race. And also at the socioeconomics data also show by census, this is also by census, our income is also the highest. Its average median income is about 79,000, but that's average. And compared to a white group, 59,000, and compared to the black African Americans, there's 39,000. So we're high. We're education's high. We are income's high. But when you look at another data. We also, in the last year, the government of Asian in tradition do not involve in the government politics. They try to stay away from the politics. Yeah.
That's why your salary's high.
That's right. But it's changing, and they recognize if you don't have a voice for your, for you at the table of making the policy making, and you probably in a disadvantage. So it's coming up. So last year, the Congress, we have first time elected 14 Asian American heritage descendant to the Congress, and then this year, Tammy Duckwood who is a Illinois senator, who is our veteran of Iraq. So we got a few, but it's way down there, the 1%, not even. This is actually, I got the data from our diversity office in the VA. You can see our Asian community here. It's actually the women. It's not too low. The reason being, nurses, Filipinos, Vietnamese, Chinese. Their number is now low, but in the whole government, we're only like 2%. So we're low. As I was saying, our educations are high, our incomes are high, and when they get to the SES, we're only less than 1%. This is the VA data. But as I was saying, we have about 200,000 more veterans, Asian Americans, and most of them, 60% of them actually in the 60s now. The active duty is about 50,000. So those are some data I wanted to share with you. But then again, then we're going to talk about a little bit of why we have a high income, high education, and we hold, and when you get to the level of senior leaders, not even senior, to middle management to the senior leaders, we're like less than 1%. There are many reasons. The traditional, one of the traditional reasons, as I said, we want to stay away from politics. We want to stay away from anything that make you your songs. The thorn throat, right? The first, what we call it is the bird out of the tree. You have your heads out, you get shoot first, right? That's in Chinese. So we don't want to do that. The family keep telling us, if I have a parent and grandparents, and since I was born and since I've grown up, to tell me for 50-some years to say, don't make troubles, have your heads down, work hard, don't make troubles. And just work hard, and you're gonna get your doctorate degree. You're gonna be a doctor, which is the dream job for our Asian community. It's like if you have a child become a doctor, you realize the dream, and you realize the dream for yourself. You realize the dream for your parents, for your family. It's honor. So with all that telling, so we are, we seem so more good in everything else, but in a leadership, that kind of a role, because I was never trained that way. If I was, every time I try to get ahead, and then somebody gonna tell me, don't do it, you're gonna get in trouble. So that's the basic tradition way of how we grow up in the environment. You can see this is still this is a time in 1986, and it was the front page at the time, and they called this the whiz kids. So there's a stereotype about us. We're very good in math. I'm gonna I have studied this for a little while. The reason being is when I work for FAPAC, we work with EEOC, we work with the OPM and we also assist in data. In 2007, there's a executive report that survey conducted by EEOC, and it was executive summary report. In that report, it says they find the Asian American employees in the federal government. This is talk about the government. In the federal government. So they said that we are minority, model minorities, often with characteristics of we're very quiet, we're hardworking, sometimes shows like antisocial because we don't really want to engage, but also very good in math, very good in engineering. So that's all good thing, right? We're very good. We don't make troubles, and we all go to people in the job. most of us, for technical aspects. However, when the good become too bad, this also become a classic and has become the major barrier for Asian Americans to go into senior management. And that's what they call the bamboo ceiling, glass ceiling, because they were projected or perceived that this group of people more of technically strong, but less of leadership strong. So that was the reason that we have this stereotype. That's really true or not true? I think there's truth in there. We are good in math. My major in college is mathematics. And my daughter, when she grew up, I want her to become a doctor. I told her, if you go to a medical school and become a doctor, I sell my house, I sell my cars, I do everything, I'll support you. But then she didn't. She selected to be a justice, investigator, which is way out our league. Okay, so yes, definitely, it's not in the family tree. So it is very, very. That's very true in that regard. As I just said this to you, this Asian, the education compared. I don't know if you can see it. Our education is among highest among other racial groups. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the stereotype and what that actually, in the daily life, what affecting us, affecting our environment, affecting our work environment, and affecting our relationship. It is not, I don't want to label, and I hope not everyone else that, I hope this is true, because this is the message I want to cross. Not everything we do it's consciously what we do. Discrimination, yes, there always. But it's not everything's discrimination. It's not intention. Let's just say what is intention. When I and my daughter went to Michigan University for college visit, and there were college bookstore clerk would not serve us. They refused to sell anything. When we have questions, would refuse to answer. That's the intention. That is the intention, because that bias come with action. Until my husband walked in, and he's tall and he's American, and they were very nice to him. They didn't know we were related, and so they were helping him. And he said, "Oh, I was looking for my daughter, and she said that she wanted to buy a book." My daughter already in tears. That was the reason she didn't go to Michigan University. That's the intention. But what is not the intention? I'll tell you my experience. When I married to my husband, we married quick. My husband, we didn't have the traditional way of planning and everything else. So after we came back from the city hall, my husband called his parents, which is they all their life they are a Midwesterner and dairy farmers. And he called them. I can hear on the phone. I'll sit right next to him. At that time, we don't have FaceTime, so they couldn't see me. But what he said to my in-laws is that, "Mom, Dad, I got married." They were like, "Wow, so happy!" And the next thing they asked, "Who you married? How is she? How she looks? What she does? Where she come from?" And he said, "Oh, she's Chinese." I can hear. They were at least 30 seconds. They were quiet, no sound, nothing. On the other side, there was nothing. I think they're trying to grab the fact of how they react. So finally, my mother-in-law said, "Oh, that's nice." And my father-in-law, the first thing, I never forgot, says, "You need to treat her nice. Don't make her mad. If you make her mad, she's going to get the Chinatown gangster to kill you." For $3,000. Do you think they have a bias? Do you think they discriminate me? No, they just don't know. What they do know is that the Hollywood project what the Chinese look like. They're all Chinatown gangsters, mafias, all that. So it's how you project it. And then speaking about the stereotype, and my husband says, oh, the first time we lived together, and he said, I said, honey, what do you want to eat tonight? Oh, fried rice. Well, I don't really cook fried rice at home for 30, I ate fried rice more than anything married to my husband in my entire life. So I said, oh, I don't have a rice cooker. He was so sad, I don't have a rice cooker. And then I don't drive like an Asian. He said, you don't drive like an Asian. I don't know what an Asian drive like, but he said I don't drive like an Asian. So with all that stereotype, that is what the unconscious part is, that how we project and how we think about them. It's not, it's the unknowns, it's don't understand about each other. That's why they come with all this stereotype look and stereotype thinking. So at work it's the same thing. If you have coworkers and if they are not sitting at your table with you eating the lunch, you think they are biased. Not true, they just don't understand you. So it's all about the understanding. And as the director said, and this the year we selected about the theme is that we want, no matter we're Chinese or Asian community, which has 26 groups, different Vietnamese and the Indians and the Koreans, and we have such a good, such a big, diversified group, a very diverse group. Or Americans, are American. What is America? America is a multicultural, multi-ethnic groups, multi-background. That made America I still consider America is the best place on earth, the best country to live, the best place to work on earth. And why? It's because we have this diverse background, people that make a unique contribution. So we just needed to understand a little bit more. That's all. Right? So in closing, I just wanted to say that our country ever even more need is a united voice, and we need to speak together, we need to walk together, we need to work together to make this country even better. It's not, diversity is not alone. We cannot walk alone. We need to walk together. We need to speak by united voice. So thank you so much for inviting me.
Great. So on the agenda, next is our First State Chinese Dance Troup's second dance. Are we ready for this? Yeah. All right. So the second dance is the Beauty of the Spring. It is a traditional Chinese fan dance, which was performed more than 2,000 years ago and has been an integral part of the Chinese culture. This dance uses a combination of body and fan movement to express an image of colorful spring garden. Please help me to welcome the Beauty of the Spring. Perfect. Thank you, all the answers. Let's give them another Chinese dance. So lastly, in closing, I would like from the Office of EEO, please welcome Ms. Claudette Passard, who will have a few closing remarks.
For coming. Before I have the closing remarks, I would like to ask our AD, assistant to the director, to come up for me. And Grace, please come up. She would like to present you with awards today.
So this is in recognition for your being the keynote speaker for our Asian American Pacific Islander Employment Program being held today in appreciation.
Thank you so much. It's such an honor.
I have one for the first state Chinese dance group. And this is a certificate of appreciation for your participation as our key performers for today's program. Thank you.
And then again, thank you everyone. Thank you for the Chinese Dance Troupe of Delaware. And Grace, thank you again, our cousin, sister from another culture. We get to find we have more to talk about that. And thank you all for coming out and supporting us. And I would like to welcome my committee members. Without them, this will never happen. Kenneth, come on down. Everyone, come on down. You have to be the people for your fellow co-workers that make this all possible. Without them, this program will not. Come on, come. Dr. Wu, come on. These are the people that work with us to have this done. And I would like Kenneth, our new Asian Pacific Islander Program Manager, to say something. Thank you.
I'd just like to thank all my committee for all the hard work they did. Everybody chipped in and had a wonderful time getting this together, and a very challenging time, but we all got it done together. And I thank you all for chipping in and participating in this program. Thank you.
Thank you. And I thank you guys for spending the time with us. And please come out and support the program and contact our office. Kishandra, she is the chair of the Special Emphasis Program Manager here at the Wilmington VA. Please enjoy coming up to enjoy our program and support us. Thank you.